The sting of rejection can be sharp, leaving you questioning your worth and wondering if you'll ever truly be seen. But here's the thing. Rejection, as painful as it can be, is not the end of the story. It's an opportunity. It might feel like the ground beneath you has crumbled, but it's actually giving you a chance to rebuild, stronger and more resilient than before. This is where emotional intelligence comes into play, guiding you to not just react, but to respond thoughtfully. Instead of viewing rejection as a personal failure, try reframing it as a powerful lesson in self-growth. It's a moment to step back, reassess, and refocus on what truly matters: your own journey, your self-worth, and the value you bring to any relationship. By cultivating inner strength and understanding your own value, you naturally start to shine in ways that make others take notice. Welcome to Stoic Journey. In this discussion, we're going to explore strategies for navigating these challenging emotions, not by seeking validation from others, but by fortifying your own sense of self. The goal isn't to manipulate or change who you are to gain attention, but rather to elevate yourself to a place where you no longer need that external validation. By the end, you'll see how rejection can be a stepping stone to a more confident, fulfilled version of yourself. So, let's embark on this path together. Remember, every story of growth begins with a moment of doubt. Share your experiences because your journey might just inspire someone else to rise above their own struggles. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and engage with our community, because together we can turn every obstacle into an opportunity for growth. Number 1. Don't react emotionally. When faced with the experience of being ignored by someone you're interested in, it's easy to feel hurt or frustrated. The natural inclination might be to react impulsively, letting emotions take the lead. However, Stoicism offers a powerful alternative approach that emphasizes self-control and inner strength. Imagine you're texting a woman and she doesn't respond, or perhaps she seems distant when you're together. It's tempting to interpret this as a personal rejection. Before jumping to conclusions, take a moment to pause. Stoicism encourages us to focus on what we can control, our own thoughts and action. Instead of reacting with frustration or anxiety, consider calmly reaching out. A simple, thoughtful message like, "I've noticed you seem a bit distant. Is everything okay?" not only shows that you care, but also that you're composed and respectful of her space. If her distance continues, this is your opportunity to lean into Stoic principles even further. The essence of Stoicism lies in maintaining your peace regardless of external circumstance. While you can't control her behavior, you can control how you respond. By staying grounded and avoiding negative reactions, you demonstrate resilience and self-respect. In addition, this situation provides a valuable chance for self-reflection. Focus on activities that bring you joy and fulfillment, independent of her attention. This shift in focus not only strengthens your self-worth, but also subtly communicates that you are not defined by the actions of others. Ultimately, if your efforts to connect remain unreciprocated, Stoicism teaches us the importance of letting go with dignity. This isn't about giving up. It's about recognizing when to conserve your energy for those who value and appreciate it. Letting go can be a powerful act of self-respect, allowing you to move forward with grace and confidence. Number 2. Go out and have fun. When you find yourself being ignored by someone you care about, it's natural to feel a wave of disappointment. I've been there too. But rather than letting that feeling consume me, I've learned that shifting my focus to things that genuinely bring me joy is the best way to regain my balance. Instead of waiting for a message that might never come, I dive into activities that lift my spirits. For me, that could mean watching a comedy that always makes me laugh, or taking a walk in the park, clear my head. These activities aren't just distractions. They're a reminder that my happiness is within my control, independent of how others treat me. Connecting with friends during these times has also been incredibly helpful. In my experience, friends offer a fresh perspective and help me realize that my worth isn't defined by the attention or lack thereof from one person. Whether we're trying out a new restaurant, attending a live music event, or just hanging out, those moments with friends reaffirm the importance of surrounding myself with positive influences. One thing I've taken to heart from Stoicism is the importance of living in the present and making the most of every situation. Being ignored might sting, but it's also an opportunity for self-discovery. By stepping outside of my routine and embracing new experiences, I've found that I grow in ways I never expected. It's about more than just moving past rejection. It's about embracing life fully and enjoying the journey. So, if you're in a similar situation, remember that this is a chance to reconnect with what truly makes you happy. Go out, explore new things, and enjoy life for yourself. Not only will this help you cope with the immediate feelings of rejection, but it will also build your resilience and remind you of your intrinsic worth, aligned with the values of Stoicism. Number 3. Express your worth. When someone, like a woman you're interested in, seems to ignore you, it can be tempting to feel down or retreat into self-doubt. However, Stoicism encourages us to see this as an opportunity to reflect and reaffirm our own value. Rather than seeking validation from her, focus on demonstrating your true character and excellence. For example, if you're in a group setting and she brings up a topic you're knowledgeable about, confidently engage in the conversation. Share your insights thoughtfully, not to impress her, because you're contributing something meaningful. This aligns with the Stoic value of purposeful action, adding value where you can and maintaining integrity in all situations. Humor is another powerful tool in maintaining your composure and showing resilience. If she throws a sarcastic comment your way, responding with a clever, lighthearted reply shows that you're not easily rattled. It's a reflection of the Stoic principle of emotional control, showing that external provocations don't disrupt your inner calm. Humor, when used wisely, can also turn tense moments into opportunities for connection and understanding. Another way to demonstrate your value is through active listening. She's sharing something, even if it feels like she's not fully engaging with you, make an effort to listen closely and respond thoughtfully. This shows that you respect her perspective and that you value the conversation, regardless of how she may be acting. It's a way of embodying Stoic virtues like respect, patience, and dignity. Ultimately, practicing these qualities isn't just about getting her attention. It's about staying true to your principles. You're showing that your self-worth isn't dependent on her recognition, but rather on your own sense of integrity and self-respect. By consistently embodying these Stoic virtues, you demonstrate that you're not someone who can be easily ignored, because your value shines through in your actions, regardless of how others may respond. So the next time you find yourself overlooked, remember that your worth isn't diminished by someone else's lack of acknowledgement. Continue to be your best self, and let your actions reflect your true character. In doing so, you maintain your Stoic composure and reinforce the idea that your value is independent of external validation. Number 4. Don't beg for her attention. When a woman ignores your messages, it's natural to feel a twinge of disappointment, but instead of anxiously sending more texts in the hope of a response, take a moment to step back. Ask yourself why you feel the need for her attention, and remind yourself of your inherent value and capability. This pause allows you to approach the situation from a place of strength rather than neediness. If you do decide to respond after some time has passed, let your reply come from a position of self-assurance. For example, if she eventually reaches out after a long silence, calm and composed response like, "No problem, I've been busy with my own projects," sends a clear message that your life doesn't revolve around her responses. It shows that you have your own fulfilling life and that her lack of attention hasn't shaken your foundation. Rather than focusing on whether she notices you, shift your attention to living your best life. Dive into activities bring you joy and fulfillment. Surround yourself with people who appreciate your presence and contribute positively to your energy. Personal and professional growth should remain central to your journey. When you prioritize these aspects of your life, your confidence will naturally grow, and this inner strength will be evident to those around you, including her. This isn't about making her feel like she's missing out in a vindictive way. Rather, it's about genuinely embracing your own life, finding satisfaction in your pursuits. By showing that you're content and thriving, with or without her attention, you're embodying the core principles of Stoicism: resilience, emotional control, and self-worth that isn't dictated by external factors. Stoicism doesn't ask us to suppress our emotions, but rather to process them in healthy and constructive ways. Respect her decision to focus elsewhere, maintain your dignity, and continue investing in your own growth and happiness. This approach not only makes you more attractive to others, but more importantly, it enriches your own life, which is the true goal. By embracing this mindset, you ensure that your sense of self remains strong, regardless of how others choose to interact with you. Number 5. Give her the silent treatment. Stoicism teaches us to reflect on our actions and choose responses that align with our core values, rather than reacting impulsively out of hurt or frustration. When faced with the situation of a woman ignoring your messages, it's natural to feel a mix of emotions. But instead of reacting immediately, take a moment to consider your intentions. Ask yourself, what do you hope to achieve by not responding to her message? Are you trying to regain a sense of control, or are you attempting to convey that you feel overlooked? If you decide to delay your response, ensure it's not driven by a desire to punish her, but rather as a means of self-reflection and maintaining your own composure. For instance, if she texts you after a period of silence, don't rush to reply or ignore her out of retaliation. Instead, take some time to think about why she may have been distant and what you genuinely want from the interaction. This pause is less about making her wonder and more about giving yourself the space to respond thoughtfully and intentionally. When you do decide to reply, keep it brief and polite, not as part of any game, but as a reflection of your self-respect and clarity of thought. A message like, "Hi, I noticed you reached out. I've been focusing on personal projects and reflecting on our conversation. How have you been?" shows that you're composed, self-assured, and open to a meaningful dialogue. It also subtly communicates that your life continues to move forward, regardless of her actions. The Stoic approach here isn't about suppressing your emotions or pretending the situation doesn't affect you. It's about managing your reactions in a way that upholds your dignity and respects the other person's potential reasons for their behavior. You're showing that while you acknowledge your feelings, you won't allow them to dictate your actions in a way that compromises your peace of mind. By embodying this mindset, you demonstrate that you value yourself and won't engage in behaviors that diminish your self-worth. Stoicism encourages us to act with intention, and in this scenario, that means responding in a way that aligns with your principles, preserves your inner calm, and respects both yourself and the other person involved. Number 6. Don't let her see you struggling. If a woman is ignoring you, it's essential to acknowledge that her attention is not something you can control. What you can control, however, is how you choose to respond. The key is to remain calm and continue living your life without allowing her actions to define your self-worth. This doesn't mean you should ignore your feelings. Stoicism isn't about suppressing emotions, but about managing them wisely and constructively. For instance, if she's not responding to your messages or seems distant in social interactions, keep your response light and composed. It's not about pretending you don't feel hurt, but rather choosing not to let that hurt dictate your behavior. You are still the confident, self-assured person you've always been, and showing that you're unaffected on the surface is a reflection of your inner strength, not denial of your emotions. When you do interact with her, it's important to maintain a demeanor of politeness and respect. Reacting aggressively or confrontationally will only serve to escalate the situation or reinforce any negative perceptions she may have. Instead, your calm and composed behavior can subtly communicate your maturity and stability, qualities that are attractive and valued in any relationship. Embracing this Stoic approach also means focusing on the areas of your life that you can improve and enjoy, regardless of whether she acknowledges them. Dive into your hobbies, spend quality time with friends who appreciate and support you, and continue pursuing personal and professional growth. These actions reinforce your independence and resilience, further demonstrating that your happiness is not dependent on someone else's recognition. By staying polite and respectful in your interactions, you're practicing a core Stoic principle that virtue is the highest good. Every interaction becomes an opportunity to be the best version of yourself, regardless of how others treat you. This approach not only preserves your dignity, but also positions you as someone who is resilient and composed in the face of indifference. So, keep living your best life. Let your tranquility, strength, and unwavering sense of self-worth speak volumes. By doing so, you maintain your composure and demonstrate that you are not easily swayed by external circumstance. Number 7. Put her out of your mind. When a woman ignores you, it can feel like a personal blow, but one of the most effective Stoic practices I've learned is to consciously put her out of your mind. This isn't about pretending you don't care or suppressing your feelings, because, let's be honest, those feelings are very real. Instead, it's about redirecting your focus toward the things that genuinely matter and that you can control, like your own growth and well-being. From my own experience, one of the first steps I take is to reassess my personal goals. When you're caught up in worrying about someone else's attention, it's easy to lose sight of what you're actually working toward in your own life. I find that writing down my goals and planning the steps to achieve them is a powerful way to shift my focus from what's bothering me, what's building me. It's amazing how much clarity you can gain when you remind yourself of your purpose. Another thing that has always worked for me is diving into hobbies that bring me joy. Whether it's picking up my guitar and getting lost in music, joining a local sports team for some physical challenge, or experimenting with new recipes in the kitchen, these activities are not just distractions. They're investments in my own happiness and skills. And this is a core tenet of Stoicism. Filling your time with activities that enrich your life and contribute to your growth. During these times, I also make it a point to connect with the people who have always been there for me. Spending time with friends and family not only uplifts my spirit, but also reinforces that my worth isn't tied to one person's attention. Being surrounded by people who genuinely care about you is a strong reminder that you are valued and loved, regardless of how one person may act. Self-reflection is another crucial practice that I've embraced, particularly during challenging times. I often take this opportunity to think about my virtues and how I can improve them. For example, am I as patient, kind, or courageous as I aspire to be? Stoicism teaches that our character is the most important thing we should continuously work on, and that's something I strive to keep at the forefront of my mind. By shifting my focus in these ways, I've come to realize that external events, like being ignored, don't have to disrupt my inner peace or happiness. I've learned that her ignoring me doesn't diminish my value or my ability to lead a fulfilling life. In fact, it has become an opportunity to strengthen my resilience and focus on what truly matters. Number 8. Ignore her back. When a woman you're interested in decides to ignore you, your initial reaction might be to mirror her behavior, ignoring her in return. While this might seem counterintuitive at first, it's actually a way of demonstrating respect for yourself and your own values. Principle deeply rooted in Stoicism. From personal experience, I've found that responding in this way can be incredibly empowering and helps maintain my sense of self-worth. For example, if you send a text and don't get a reply, or you're in a conversation and she abruptly changes the topic, it's easy to feel frustrated and tempted to push harder for her attention. However, choosing to refrain from sending follow-up messages or simply moving the conversation forward on your own terms isn't about being petty or giving her a taste of her own medicine. It's about prioritizing your peace of mind and refusing to let someone else's actions disrupt your inner tranquility. This has been a game changer for me, as it allows me to stay grounded and not get swept up in emotions that can cloud my judgment. I've also encountered situations in group settings where my comments were overlooked. Instead of trying harder to get noticed, I found that stepping back and engaging with others who value my contributions is much more fulfilling. It's not about accepting disrespect, but about practicing stoic endurance, remaining composed and unshaken by external events. This approach preserves my dignity and reinforces the idea that my worth isn't dependent on one person's attention. Observing the conversation silently or choosing to interact with others who appreciate my input reminds me that there are always people who value my presence. In public scenarios where being ignored can feel especially uncomfortable, I've learned that politely excusing myself and moving on can be incredibly empowering. It's a subtle yet powerful demonstration that my self-worth isn't determined by how others treat me. This approach not only safeguards my self-respect, but also subtly conveys that I am someone cannot be easily disregarded. By choosing to disengage from behavior that doesn't respect me, I'm adhering to the Stoic principles of focusing on what I can control, my own actions and reaction. From my perspective, this isn't about damaging egos or playing mind games. It's about making a conscious choice to preserve my peace and self-respect. It shows that while I am open to respectful interactions, I am also strong enough to walk away from those that don't align with my values. This is what living with Stoic dignity means to me, finding strength in self-respect and serenity in the face of indifference. In the end, it's about choosing peace over conflict and maintaining control over how I allow others to affect my state of mind. Number 9. Establish a social standing. One powerful way to deal with being ignored is to channel that energy into building your social status, not in the pursuit of validation, but as a means of enhancing your self-worth and presence within your community. This approach aligns perfectly with Stoic principles, which emphasize self-improvement, independence, and focusing on what you can control. By concentrating on growing your social status through positive and meaningful activities, you're not only making yourself more appealing to others, you're also solidifying your own self-respect and confidence. From my own experience, I've found that investing in yourself both physically and mentally is a transformative step. Regular workouts, for instance, don't just improve your health, they also boost your confidence and energy level, making you feel more capable in every aspect of life. Beyond the physical, picking up new hobbies or learning new skills always been a way for me to enrich my life. Whether it's learning a new language, cooking unique dishes, or getting better at playing an instrument, these activities give me something interesting to focus on and talk about. They add layers to who I am, which naturally attracts others and deepens my self-satisfaction. Professionally, I've learned that focusing on career growth can be incredibly empowering. By acquiring new qualifications or taking on challenging projects, you not only elevate your status in the workplace, but also build a reputation for dedication and competence. Networking, which I initially found daunting, has become a crucial tool in connecting with others who offer support, advice, and new opportunities. Your career accomplishments aren't just about personal pride. They contribute to the persona you present to the world, showcasing that you're driven and capable. Volunteering has been another significant aspect of my journey. By giving back to the community, I found a sense of fulfillment that transcends personal gain. It demonstrates empathy, compassion, and a commitment to something larger than myself, qualities that are universally respected and admired. Volunteering not only connects you with like-minded individuals, but also reflects Stoic values by focusing on making a positive impact beyond your immediate circle. Social media, though often viewed with skepticism, can also be a strategic tool for enhancing your social status. I've used it not to boast, but to share achievements, interests, and experiences that reflect the active, engaged life I'm living. Posting about a recent hike, volunteer event, or a professional milestone isn't about bragging. It's about sharing the multifaceted person you are with the world and inviting others to be a part of your journey. Number 10. End all communication. When you've made an effort to connect and received little to no response, it's important to recognize when it's time to pull back. This isn't a move to manipulate or elicit a reaction. It's about prioritizing your own peace of mind and well-being. From personal experience, I've found that when someone isn't reciprocating your efforts, continuing to reach out only drains your energy. For example, if you're used to sending messages and receiving no reply, it's better to stop rather than persist in hopes of a different outcome. The same goes for phone calls. If they're unanswered, resisting the urge to keep trying is a way of acknowledging that you deserve better. This isn't just about sending a message that you won't tolerate being ignored. It's about affirming your own self-worth. You deserve to invest your time and energy into relationships that are mutual. In social situations, this approach extends to how you interact in person. If you find yourselves in the same circle, there's no need to go out of your way to engage with her. Polite acknowledgement, if necessary, is enough. Instead, focus on engaging with friends and others who genuinely value your company. This isn't about avoiding her out of bitterness. It's about redirecting your energy toward more positive and fulfilling interactions. The Stoic perspective on this is particularly powerful. Stoicism teaches us not to allow our inner peace to be disturbed by external factors beyond our control. By choosing to cut contact, you're practicing the Stoic discipline of detachment, not as a punishment or out of anger, but as an intentional choice. Focus on what truly enriches your life. Detaching in this way helps maintain your tranquility and allows you to focus on your own growth and happiness. Ultimately, this approach is about maintaining your dignity and peace of mind. It's a form of self-care, ensuring that you're not repeatedly hurt or distracted by someone who isn't engaging with you in a meaningful way. Stay true to your values, surround yourself with people who uplift and appreciate you, and continue living a life that brings you pride and fulfillment. This is the essence of the Stoic way, finding freedom in focusing on what truly matters and letting go of what doesn't. Number 11. Disprove her beliefs. Stoicism teaches us not to be swayed by others' opinions, but to remain steadfast in living according to our own nature and virtues. This means that if a woman thinks you're not knowledgeable enough on a subject, for example, you can find a natural and non-confrontational way to share your insights when the topic arises. It's not about boasting or proving her wrong in an aggressive manner. It's about gently correcting misunderstandings through your authentic actions and knowledge. I've found that when people perceive you as uninteresting or lacking depth, one of the most effective responses is to surprise them, sometimes even surprising yourself, by engaging in activities that highlight your uniqueness. Share stories from your life that reflect who you truly are, whether it's about a recent adventure, a book that shifted your perspective, or a hobby you're passionate about. By naturally bringing your diverse interests and abilities into conversation, you allow others to see the real you. This approach can gradually shift perceptions. But it's important to do this for your own satisfaction, not solely to win someone else's approval. However, Stoicism also emphasizes the importance of detachment from external validation. If despite your efforts, she continues to ignore you, it's essential not to take it personally. This can be challenging, but Stoicism encourages us to focus on our own growth and self-improvement, rather than seeking approval from others. Developing yourself should be for your own well-being, not to change someone else's mind. For instance, if you've made efforts to engage and share your true self, but still find that you're being ignored, it might be time to redirect your energy towards personal goals and self-reflection. I've found that working on aspects of my character, patience, resilience, or generosity, not only helps me grow, but also aligns with Stoic principles. This focus on personal virtue ensures that, regardless of how others respond, I am continually becoming a better version of myself. In the Stoic sense, proving someone wrong isn't about a grand reveal of your worth. Instead, it's a quiet, persistent demonstration of who you truly are through your actions and choices. Your value doesn't depend on whether she recognizes it or not. What matters is that you continue to live truthfully and virtuously. Keep focusing on what makes you a good, capable, and interesting person, and let your life speak for itself. By doing so, you maintain your integrity and find satisfaction in your own growth, independent of external recognition. Instead of seeing rejection as a defeat, view it as a chance to reveal your true strength and depth of character. It's about respecting others' boundaries while leaving a lasting impression through your dignified and thoughtful response. This approach isn't limited to romantic pursuits. It's a philosophy that can elevate all areas of your life and relationships. If you found value in this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe for more content that empowers you to tackle life's complexities with confidence and poise. We'd love to hear your stories and insights in the comments below. Your experiences might be exactly what someone else needs to hear right now. Before you leave, don't miss the recommended video on your screen for more inspiration. Thank you again for watching and supporting our channel. Remember, every setback can be a setup for greater success if we learn and grow from it. Keep moving forward with resilience, and we'll see you in the next video.